Hi, I'm Rick Sessinghaus. So this is the next video in a series I'm doing called Influencer. Is what has influenced you in your life to make you who you are, right? Both good and bad. And I wanted to share what has influenced me in my life. And on this video, I want to talk about probably the number one influencer, my family, right? I mean, think about it. When you're a kid, you've got your parents, you've got your siblings, you've got your grandparents that are constantly there. And they can influence us in many different ways, right? Well, some of the positives that I certainly was influenced by my parents, for instance, is this notion of, Rick, do what you love for work. Now, they had great jobs, but they were very secure jobs, didn't get them excited to go to work in the morning. There's a lot of, bureaucracy that went away with it. And they just kept coming back from home and go, Rick, I hope you find something you love to do. And that was pushed in at an early age. And guess what? I've been very fortunate that my career for the last 25 years have been built around things that I love to do and using my strengths and being able to go out. Now, it always hasn't been easy, by the way, because I've been kind of my own boss, but having that as an influencer of what was I going to do in my career, became a number one value, is the freedom to choose something that I love to do. Now, the other thing that my parents certainly talked about is don't let talent be taken for granted. And what they meant by that is I was fortunate, to grow up where I did, and my parents had great jobs and stuff like that. However, they hated seeing my brother and I take things for granted, right? Is that you guys have skills, work hard at it. Work ethic is gonna trump the skill and the talent in the long run. So what that helped me do is create a disciplined work ethic to where there's always somebody better out there. Now some people say, well, that's kind of no, it's good because it pushed me. It wasn't like, Rick, you're the greatest, da, da, da. It was, hey, you're good, however, you could be better. And I think you're taking some shortcuts. And so to me, it was more about work ethic was more important than talent. And that came across a lot with my dad with sports and how I practiced and how I viewed things after the match or after the tournament or whatever that may be, is that I was in a learning mode to get better. And he didn't make it very easy for me to just lay back and go, oh yeah, I'm really good. He didn't allow that, okay? High discipline, high expectations. So having now that has helped me as I become an entrepreneur is to work. I gotta work all the time, okay? Talent is not gonna pay the bills, but work ethic will. The other thing, which this was a little bit of a negative, is I was trying to pursue perfection as a kid, and even in early adulthood, is be perfect, be perfect, be perfect, because I thought that's what was gonna get me love from my parents, that was gonna get love from the world as I was perfect. Now, we know perfectionism is not good, but what my mom especially told me about is that excellence could be a good thing to strive for, but perfection never is that she did want me to take pride in myself. She did want me to better myself, but perfection was not a goal. It really wasn't. It was actually creating issues for myself where it was self-defeating all the time because I could always be better, and say, wait a second, were you excellent at that? Are you pursuing excellence instead of pursuing perfection? So my mom really helped keep that thing in perspective for me. It was more about excellence than perfection. Now my wife, who I've been married to for over 20 years, has been a huge influencer for many, many reasons. The number one reason, and this is from even when we started dating and our first few years of marriage, was you are enough, Rick. You don't need to be anybody else, okay? You can improve yourself, but don't try to be somebody else. I fell into that trap early that I wasn't enough, thus I need to be somebody else or like somebody else. And it really didn't work. And she appreciated me and said, no, you be the best version of you and everything's gonna work out. And you know what? It has. I have my ups and downs and my positives and negatives. However, if I grow each day as the best version of myself, then I feel like I'm living kind of an authentic life. And so my wife has been extremely supportive in that and keep reminding me that the answer is kind of more within me, not searching for something out there. So family has a huge influence on us, doesn't it? Now, I didn't list some of the negative stuff, but we have to now filter those things out. But I've been very, very fortunate that my family has had a very positive influence on how I see the world, my work ethic, and how I see myself. And so start thinking about how your family has influenced you to perform for success.